Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here back with more Let's Play Skies of Arcadia, and I know I said I was going to go do discoveries, but there's something I've got to do before that, and really I've already done this. I've had a lot of technical problems. These technical problems are slowly driving me mad. I'm having trouble actually recording and getting, shit done that needs to get done. So, I've done this several times, and it's, again, driving me crazy. So I'm going to do this again, and then I'm going to skip ahead to another save file where I actually got farther than this. We need to come up here, and we're going to talk to the black market ship parts dealer. He is our ship shop and guild contact type person for this area. We've got some new stuff. We've got a G-type cannon, 5-inch cannon, shock torpedoes, fire and figure, bore-up kit, floor heater, and then some new items: concussion bomb, deluxe kit, gear grease. We're gonna buy a lot of stuff. We're pretty much gonna tap out the last of our money here. We're gonna buy a G-type cannon to replace our standard cannon. Buy a 5-inch cannon to replace our regular 3-inch cannon. And I'm actually getting kind of hoarse because of the fact that I've done this really 4 times back to back. I've lost so much recording time on this one episode because I can't figure out what's wrong. Every now and again I get really weird robot sound from my system, and I don't, like, my voice just sounds like I'm in a Beastie Boys video singing Intergalactic. I don't know. So yeah, that's what it is. And when we go to leave, he'll tell us that Domingo is in the area. How Domingo crossed the South Sea, I don't know. I don't know. But he's looking for the Exotaka Palace, so if we can find it, we can get ahead of him. Alright, so again, I already know what's happening. I've done it before. We're going to come over here, and you saw that there was a discovery there. My ship was going all crazy, but I'm going to get all of the discoveries at once. So we are going to watch Aka sniff the air, for whatever reason that she's doing that, and find out that it smells like something's burning. And Drachma tells us to actually look out the window, and we can see. I don't see how they'd miss this. I would probably notice the sight before the smell. The forest is on fire. Like, you would see, just looking out the window, smoke before you smelled it. Unless it was, blowing towards you, then you might smell it, farther in advance. But here we have the Valuan flagship 5th Admiral de Loco, the Chameleon. And he's got a giant hand with a flamethrower attachment attached to it. It's a little cheesy, but it's a flamethrower, so it's fire, and fire is always entertaining. So, like I said, I've done this several times before. I'm going to discuss it as we get into the ship fight, because it gives me something fun to do. For now, I'm going to sit here and mock De Loco, because just take a second and let that sink in. Burn, 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 while he's flailing like that. And it just gets worse. He's having a seizure, and none of his subordinates are doing anything to help him. Alright, so he's burning down the forest looking for the lost city of Rixus. There's a ship approaching from the aft. It matches the description of those air pirates. Vice is here. So I love that he knows who we are, that our name is apparently well enough known in Valua that, and it's great because, it'll make the name stick even more when we kick the crap out of him. And this scene is just hilarious. It's like, I wonder how Vice likes his food. Zoom in, medium, or perhaps zoom in more, well done. Like, how can you take that seriously? Just, how? How can you do it? It's silly. What kind of twisted psycho would do this? Well, I mean, he wears a hairarium. His hair helmet. really, I think anything, if I did voice acting for characters, that's not something I really do, but if I did do voice acting for characters in role-playing games like this, especially ones that don't have voice acting, I would make Loco Dr. Weird from Aqua Teen. It makes sense. It's the dome. Alright, so here, I'm not doing a damn thing. I'm going to focus, and then I'm going to cast Incrum. That's really it. This first turn, there's really no point to it. I got nothing. I'm just going to build up a bunch of spirit. This fight, like I said, I've done it before. I've done it several times before. It's very much like the Requiem fight in the gimmick of the fight, where we have to hit him to knock him off balance to keep from being hit by his super attack. But in terms of difficulty, it's more like a watered-down Beliza fight, because his ship stats are about the same as Beliza. He doesn't typically stack attacks on top of each other like she did for the magic cannon and sub-cannons and torpedoes. He'll do two, but most of the time his attack that he will stack is he'll hit you with a sub-cannon and launch a torpedo at the same time, sort of deal. His big threat is when he actually manages to hit with both sub-cannons, is his flamethrower. So what we're going to do, we've cast Incrum. We are going to shock torpedo, blaster. I should use the big blaster, but I'm not going to. And we're going to guard. We need to hit him to knock him off balance. And you would think you would want to aim for him on that yellow square. But the only time I've ever been able to knock him off balance is hitting him on the square before, because this is one of those fights where the ship's position actually seems like it pays attention to the game, and there's certain turns where we will be behind him and therefore incapable of hitting him with certain attacks. So, and I may have even missed this one because I'm technically behind him. Nope, but I hit him with two, so hopefully that's enough to actually do it. I missed with the torpedo. And this is actually better than I've been doing, because the little jack has shit for accuracy, I kid you not. Most of the times I've done this, even if I'm aiming to hit him on the correct turn, I just miss completely. So I'm hoping that two hits right there was enough to knock him off balance and keep him off my ass. Apparently not. Apparently it wasn't. Nope, it wasn't. Fan-bloody-tastic. But I've got more than enough to use the harpoon cannon. I'm going to use a repair kit, and then I'm just going to guard both turns. I've really got not much else to do. I was really, really hoping to knock him off balance, but it didn't work. I've knocked him off balance in that turn before, so I know it's possible, but I don't know. You would think the harpoon cannon hitting, the back of his ship and tearing through the front of his ship would, kind of knock him off balance so that he wouldn't be able to use that godforsaken flamethrower. But apparently not. So this turn order is going to be specific. The yellow block, we are going to end up in front of him. He's going to hit us with the revolver cannon that's on the front of his ship, and then the red turn, he's going to hit us with the flamethrower. See? We're in front of him, revolver cannon, I guarantee you. Yep. For 1,000 points of damage because I was guarding. And then I'm also guarding for his flamethrower. And that'll lessen the damage a little bit, but I'm not sure by how much. If it'll be enough to actually, survive. I'll survive it, but whether or not I'll have to take the next turn to use a recovery kit of some sort. So, And we get to see the flamethrower attack. 2,000 points of damage. Ours does a lot more. We did like 13,000 points of damage. He did 2. And even if we weren't guarding and we took the full damage, like 4. There's a major difference between 4,000 damage and 11,000 damage. And Drachma tells us that if we hit him at the right time, we can knock him off balance. So we could try it again. And I'm gonna try it there. No, I'm gonna try it again there. And focus. And guard. Yeah, we'll do that. Because that should give me enough to make sure I've still got enough to use the harpoon cannon next turn. Either or, if I hit him with a harpoon cannon next turn, I'm gonna win. Because he does not have a full 20,000 HP, so if I do damage to him now, and then regardless I hit him in the next turn segment with the harpoon cannon, he's done. I just have to survive till then. So, but yeah, like I said, I've done this fight several times. I'm really hoping it actually comes out like it should this time. It is weirding me out a little bit. I don't understand what's going on. Ow. That hurt a lot. And I'm actually in a lot of pain at the moment. If I lose this fight, I'm gonna snap. I'm coming close. I'm coming very close. Alright, so we actually did throw him off balance. That's fine. We'll use a deluxe kit to heal. We'll do that, and then guard, because this fight's over. Just in case he does get another attack on me, I don't want to be dead. That's my whole reason for using the deluxe kit, just to make sure, you know, he takes a turn to focus, but if he had taken a turn to attack, I could have had a problem. And harpoon cannon will finish this fight. Like I said, this is not a difficult fight. Just, I cut it a little close with the not guarding like I should, but all in all, really not a difficult fight in general. The thing is, I'm having a harder time recording this episode than I am actually doing this episode. And we get a Captain Stripe and a B-type cannon from the fight. And he's fuming mad, steaming mad. How could we beat the flame cannon? And he's having another seizure. And he breaks. I would honestly believe he's a robot. Like, I would make a good case that Loco is a robot just off that scene. Because that just seems... I know it's meant for comedic value, but if I were, you know, looking at this, you know, from a purely objective standpoint, like, he might be a robot. So obviously Loco's looking for the moon crystal. I'm not at all surprised. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But we have a discovery there, but we want to do this first as well. We want to come here to the King's hideout before we do the discoveries. And we can talk to King Ixataka. And the High Priests have informed him about us already, and they already knew about the Valuans. And that, you know, we beat the Valuans just now. He thanks us, you know, we were just doing the right thing. Like, he was driven from his land and forced to live in this hut. He's not really able to compensate us with money. Like, I'll do anything in my power as a king to reward you. Can you give us a, you know, green moon crystal? Because, you know, I wouldn't bet money that the Valuans already came and asked him about it. The legendary sacred green stone. The men from Valua came looking for the same thing. It's like, I don't understand why he would give it to us when he didn't give it to the Valuans just because we beat the Valuans. It's like, oh, they came in and took it by force, we came in and beat them and asked for it nicely, so you're going to give it to us? But it would be in the lost city of Rixus, if it exists. Which, Rixus was the capital of Ixotaka in the old world, with gold streets that's just really exciting, Aka. Aka's like, calm down. Or Vice like, calm down, Aka. You're embarrassing me. Do you know where the lost city of Rixus is located? Just take a second and read that sentence again, and just put lost city in front of Rixus, and ask where it would be. And the king's... It looks like he's facepalming like, really, kid? You don't know what the meaning of lost city? Like... But if it did exist, one of his high priests, Isapa, would know where it is. And, of course, Isapa is not here because he's been kidnapped by the Valuans. Like, really? It doesn't take much to see where this is going. So the Valuans kidnapped one of your high priests, and he's been held prisoner in the Moonstone. What should we do? Alright, so we have a swashbuckler event of... we'll try to find Rixus by ourselves, or let's break into Moonstone Mountain. Really, what would we do? Like, if you're trying to be a hero, a notable hero, you're going to save the innocent people who have been kidnapped. So we're going to break in and rescue Isapa. And King Ixotaka is apparently very surprised by this, that we would be willing to risk our lives to save his people. And it is south of Horteka Village. So now we know where to go and who to rescue. And here in the hut, right in front of this chest, is a cham, which we have... That gives us 2 chams that we can use on Cupel. And we are done at the King's Hut, so we're going to leave. And now we are going to look for discoveries, and that'll be the end of this episode once we find all of them. There's a good number of them. They're good to find. We already found one, but the first one we're going to get is right here. The Golden Man. A golden statue that stands quietly as if pointing something out. It is thought to have been placed to protect the sacred land. Male statues are often found in temples and other buildings, while female statues are found near holy lakes and trees. This one also has something in its eye that we're going to take and save for later. The Golden Man's eye. No one will notice if it's missing, right? And besides, we're pirates. Can you blame us? Well, yeah, we kind of can. You're stealing our treasures. Alright, and the other one was here. The Ixotakan Palace. Stone Palace was once the site of ceremonies based on the ancient lunar calendar, built during the reign of the Moon Kings. First, this palace flourished as the center of the Ixotakan civilization for ages, but was destroyed several years ago by the Valuans. So, by that, the Valuans have been here already. They didn't just destroy this temple. Or is that... Maybe it is. Maybe that's where King Ixotaka was beforehand? I guess? That would actually make more sense, wouldn't it? That's where King Ixotaka was, and that's why he's hiding out there? This next one is one that's obvious because you can see it. The Great Bird. The wings and tail of the Great Bird are said to indicate the equinoxes of the ancient Ixotakan vertilunar calendar. Figures of other animals once dotted the plain, but they have been swallowed up by the expanding forest, leaving only the bird. This one also has something in its eye, another gem that we are going to save for later. We found the Great Bird's eye. Those are going to play a part, like I said, later on. Next up, we're going to go over here, and underneath the island of Horteka, you see these roots. Typically, there's fruit or vegetables growing on roots. So we come over here and just search. It didn't even show up, but we find the Garpa fruits, and this is my favorite one. A vined plant that hangs from the bottom of the continent. Its stem contains a powerful hallucinogen. It has been used for medicinal and religious purposes throughout the ages. It's also commonly used in local delicacies. Because, you know, if I go to an Italian restaurant, I want them to put LSD in my spaghetti. That's what I'm taking away from this. LSD in the spaghetti. Alright, and the last discovery is over here along this continent, along the edge, near this opening, the Ixinus Village. Tribe of women that lives on a small island in Ixataka. They are skilled and fearsome warriors. They raid nearby villages twice a year to kidnap men. The numbers of men in nearby tribes have almost been reduced to nothing. So they're kind of like Amazon from Legends. So yeah, interesting. So yeah, I'm going to end this episode here, and I'm going to switch to another save file that I'd already done this and done some farming and power leveling. So I'm going to switch to that. Hopefully this episode comes out well, and I will see you in the next installment. So till then, later everyone.